that also then brings me to the next one, which is about script writing, right? And the
Oh,
cost of it's a good segue, really. You're on
yeah.
point today, dude. Um, Now, and that'll lead us into the next sad story about that. But let me find the one about the Kyoto. Oh, that's the wrong one. Where are you? So there's interview about how movies are so dear right now, right? And that they, what was it like? What was the name of the? It's not kaiju. What was Godzilla?
Kaiju. Yeah,
Godzilla.
kaiju.
Was it plus one or minus one?
Oh, minus. Good question. I think minus one.
Here we go. So then this will lead us out with into anime.
With
But
a
so
with a
we're
kaiju.
talking about budgets, right? And what they don't know. So and you were talking about how this is the script and you're working with this, and even if it's a small budget. So Godzilla Minus One director Takashi Yamazaki dunks on Marvel Studios' big budget inefficiency. It's been over 2 months since Godzilla Minus One made its way into theaters, and people are still in disbelief at the amount of money it took to achieve such a cinematic feat. Now, if I remember right, it was 15 million, from what I understand, because we went
Yeah.
over this a couple of weeks ago.
These
And I think it
days
must
they
have,
call that peanuts, all those American ones. But it's funny if they can get a whole kaiju on the screen and boats and machine guns.
and
Where they wasting their money?
yeah, like what did so let's have so the budget for this was, it was 15 million US, right? Which is around about 22 million New Zealand, right? And it made about 106.7 million worldwide. So that is a 95, give or take, $95 million profit, right? And
Good.
so now I'll get you to read the rest.
American audience have been so accustomed to watching massive budget superhero movies that cost nothing short of $250 million to produce and only get lukewarm reactions from audiences. Superhero movies have become nothing more than actors in costumes standing in front of blue screens, while the overwhelming majority of the film isn't completed until post-production VFX teams make the film look presentable as they can in a short period. This business model drives up the cost of the biggest movies of the year to explode to 9 figures, which is the primary reason why so many major studios are losing billions of dollars every year on movies that the interest does not match the amount of money sunk into the project.
So the last 24 months or something, or 12 months, Disney lost $7 billion at the movies.
Yeah, you don't want to start me on Disney. Like,
right? So so here you go. So that it's there 15 million, right? So here's what he's saying. Like, so Godzilla Minus One director Takashi Yamazaki continues to pour salt in the wounds of Western filmmakers by not only sticking to his claim that the film only cost a total of 12 million to produce, but that production was able to pull this off without having to cut corners on luxuries for the cast and crew on set of the movie. Right? I want this thing to pick me up, and I want that jet to fly me there, and I want to be first class, and I want to be this served right at that hotel, and I want to be at that hotel, and all that adds up. This bloated $250 million standard that Disney is right now, and probably Disney's probably with Marvel is most costly. What was like $350 million for that dud that was Indiana Jones.
Well, that's bad too. They made a lot of mistakes recently.
Yeah. So he goes. He claimed one thing that I will say is that we had our company do a pretty nice renovation and overhaul of this office floor, because once we knew that we were going to work on a Godzilla project, we knew that we were going to be spending significant hours together. We made it more comfortable and cozy. We spent some budget building out a kitchen. So they actually built a kitchen so they could have food there, right? He continued, we designated sushi chef. We have a designated sushi chef in the kitchen. We really try to avoid long hours, but if you do, it's a very welcome environment in which to spend a few extra hours. Hopefully, in due time, VFX budget increases will allow for more improvements. I'm looking forward to the day when we can pay creatives more. When asked if there was any advice that he would give Hollywood to solve their problem of keeping costs low on budget, Yamazaki said Hollywood should exercise more care in their filmmaking process. Right? If there is a solid vision throughout the process of making a single film, then I think there is a way to cut down on costs. He said, yes, there are trial and error costs and bouncing ideas off each other is necessary to a certain extent. But if you can clearly communicate that vision, then maybe there is no need to do a lot of experimenting on the side that eats up a lot of cost and time. And the dude made a 15 million, he's saying like $12 million production cost, 3 million to advertise, right? And whatever else he needed to do with that. And he made 95 odd million, like 90 million.
He made a good movie. And obviously could work with his budget.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like there's more money there if he needed it. He just didn't need it, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, like, you look at that. So, like, the Marvels, right? Last MCU movie, and then next thing you got, like, is that spider, like, metal web thing that's, like, just destroyed. It's going to be the lowest, money maker ever, even below Morbius. So the last MCU film was The Marvels, a film that ballooned to a $275 million production and became the lowest grossing. Dude, they actually lost money on it.
Yeah, well, of course they did.
$69 million they lost. They didn't even break even.
Yeah,
that is bad. I mean, and yeah,
they
man,
just need to wake up and like they know what they're doing, like, because they know what people want, so then they intentionally just give them what they don't want all the time. It's just really dumb. It feels like they're just trying to destroy a lot of their characters. And then the weird thing is, they're not only ruining their movies and like getting less money for their movies, but they're destroying their IPs and like making their value drop drastically. Like Captain Marvel, I really like as a character in the comics, especially when she started out. And I don't mind her when she became Captain Marvel and all that from Miss Marvel, but it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for the noise to die down, so I could have some time to think back to when I wanted to be where I am now, free of problems I had then been taken up by more.